Hello everybody, welcome back to BareRose Garage. What's going on? Well, I know it's been a little while since I've done a video, but I've been busy on this Mercury. What I've done so far, getting it ready for first fire up. Well, the first one after the second one, I guess. You've seen in my other ones here. I've replaced all the spark plug wires. I've run all manual gauges. You can see down in here, this is my temp gauge. Drops in right here. It's kind of hard to see under all that. But now I've run a manual temp gauge so I can monitor the temperature. I hate electric gauges. I'm a mechanical gauge kind of guy. Now I just got to tighten it all up. I just got it run. Found a hole in the firewall right back there that is nice and easy to get to. Now I just got to put a grommet in there, seal it in. I also ran the oil pressure gauge. Now on the oil pressure gauge, I run the copper line, but you can kind of see where it is right here. There it is. To protect the copper line, I did the same thing I did with my fuel line. And I took a piece of old vacuum line, split it down the center, and then encapsulated my oil pressure line inside of here. So it's actually got this protecting it all the way. So it can't rub against anything, rub a hole in it. I would do it with the temperature gauge, but the temperature gauge here, you can see it's got this coil on it. That's a heat, so it dissipates the heat away. The capillary inside of here actually warms up, and that's what moves your gauge, tells you your temperature. If you encapsulate that with any kind of protector like this rubber line, what you do is you hold the heat into it and it'll cause a misread on your gauge. So this is supposed to be open like this, so it lets the temperature out away from your capillary line. So, in other words, keep that one nice and open. So, I've got all that. I just got to zip tie it up and make it all nice and neat there. I did leave all of the idiot light provisions. They're inside of this. I just kind of run them over here like this, just to get them out of the way. Later on, I just don't have time for it. I'll get a T for that and a T for the bottom one. You can almost see it down there, right down in there for the oil pressure. And I'll put both of them in. So I'll have the idiot light and the regular gauge. So I've got that all run. I did add my second throttle spring as required for drag racing. Now it stiffened up the throttle quite a bit, but she's in there, all ready to go. Changed all the vacuum lines, and for drag racing, you got to have a reclaimer bottle, not a reclaimer, but a catch bottle for your radiator. So this used to just run right down there, and you can see the hole right down there where it just runs straight down, and if your radiator overflows, it just dumps it right on the ground. Well, that's bad for drag racing, so I just run it over, and this is actually the bottle for your windshield wiper squirters. And since it's just a gravity feed for it, I just plugged it in here. So that works as my catch bottle, and it's got the little Mercury head on it, so it looks factory. So that's all done. Again, you can see my fuel line that I got all ready. I've got everything wired in. I got one more gauge I got to wire in. That's what I'm working on right now. Car's a mess, but let's get in here. Now I got my gauge cluster up in here. Now I got my oil pressure, water temperature, and volt gauge. The volt gauge is what I got to wire in, and the dash light for all three of them. And I've got a tack that I'll put in here somewheres. I'm thinking maybe right here I'll mount the tack down here. It kind of goes with all of these. These are just some gauges I've picked up somewheres. I don't remember where, but I'll probably mount that just like that, up and just out of that vent somewhere in there. I haven't decided yet. This is just the batting for my dash. The vinyl hasn't come in yet, and I'll probably get to this after the No Name Nationals. Again, this is just the base for it. Yeah, I got a little burr on it there, but that'll look all right just to get to Missouri and get home. That's the good thing about working on, you know, cosmetic stuff. If you don't get to it in time, if you're, you know, not quite there, it doesn't matter. It's cosmetic. It doesn't affect how the car drives or anything like that. So I can still get to Missouri, and I can still race her and have a good time at the No Name Nationals. So when I get back, then I'll wrap this off with the vinyl and finish off the dash. Now, the way I've padded it in here, there's a 1/2 inch padding all the way around here, and then I'll finish it off here with the tray that goes here. The same way I did this. It's just the styrofoam foam board you use for house insulation. It works pretty good for that, and it's easy to bend and move, and I just sprayed it on there and bent it, moved it. I did have video on that, but I got it stuck in this camera. It went to the internal memory, and I can't get it out of the internal memory. But once I can get it figured out how to get all that footage out of here, I'll put it up as a regular video. But that's where I'm at on it. All I got left to do, like I said, is just wire in this triple set of gauges and mount my tack. And then she's ready for first fire up now that I got the holes plugged, and for the oil pressure and the water temperature sending units, if you want to call them that. They're not really sending units, they're the connection points. It's where it gets it from. So all I got left to do that, fill it full of water and throw the first key to it. Well, the first key after I've done all of this stuff to it. So that's where I'm at with the Mercury, and well, keep watching, and we'll get this big old Mercury to Sikeston, Missouri at the end of this month. The days are really counting by fast now. It's go time. So, meantime, get out there and get some metal hot. We'll see y'all in Sikeston.